Welcome, my friends, to another edition of Freedom Law School's Freedom Hour. This is Payman Motahede, the president of Freedom Law School at freedomlawschool.org. And in this interview tonight, I'm bringing back for you again Mr. Joseph Banister, former gun-carrying IRS special agent who defected from the IRS to the freedom movement, defected from lies and corruption to the truth and freedom, and been exposing that income tax is a fraud now for over 25 years now. This is third series in a series of 3 videos. If you have not seen the first 2 videos, the link is below in the description. You probably want to watch those first, but this is the most climactic part of the 3 series. Because Joe coming out, exposing the IRS lies, the Deep State Department of Injustice, DOJ lies, refusal to engage and converse peacefully with the American people, and simply show us their authority to tax the labor of the American people. Instead, they want to just hit you over the head, punch you, shut you up. Well, that's what they did with Joe Banister. They could not stand that one of their own is exposing the fraud of the income tax. So I'm going to bring Joe on and let him tell you about how was it that they came after Joe Banister to try to shut him up. Joe, welcome to our Freedom Hour. How are you today, my friend?
Thanks for having me again.
It's my pleasure. So, Joe, tell us what happened in 2004 with the IRS. And after all these years, from 99, you quit the IRS, exposed them in the early 2000 years with We the People Foundation, the debates. The government never shows up. You know, they agree to show up, and then before 9/11, then because of 9/11, they just get out of their agreement they made. They use it as an excuse to not to meet with you and others in the freedom movement to tell the truth to the American people and debate it. And then you had all USA Today ads that with the People Foundation featured you and others about income tax fraud. What happened in 2004, Joe?
Well, maybe I'll back up just a little bit because, you know, as you mentioned, there was the USA Today ads, and we together, and you were part of the effort, making waves back in D.C. that, you know, there was actually a large group of Americans who had some real questions about the, you know, scope and nature of the federal income tax. And in 2001, I was actually interviewed by the New York Times, and I was on 60 Minutes. And I learned the hard way that the mainstream media, when they really start paying attention to you, they may have other agendas other than actually getting to the truth. And so I found out they basically wanted, you know, the public to know all about me, because the media probably learned before I did that I was under criminal investigation starting in 2001. And that investigation lasted about 3 years. And then in November of 2004, I was indicted with 4 felony counts. And so, you know, there was a lot going on between 2001 and 2004. But, you know, of course, things are going on ever since I resigned in 1999, and prior to that with the efforts that, you know, you were already making. But yeah, in November 2004, I was actually indicted. You know, the same agency that I used to work for and work with saw to it that I was indicted by a grand jury in Sacramento, California. And my client was also indicted. And a little background on what the government claimed. Back in 1999, 2000, a gentleman named Al Thompson approached me to, actually Al was one of the people that was featured in those USA Today ads. But he approached me and he said, look, I've paid the income tax all my life, and I would like to see if I can get some of my money back. And so I'd like to, sue to get a refund. And I'd like you to help me because you, Joe, are a CPA and you know how the rules work, and I want to follow the rules, is what Al told me. And so I thought very naively, not the first naive choice I ever made. I said, well, Al, yeah, I'm a CPA. I know how to read the rules and certainly want to obey the rules. If you want to seek a refund of income taxes you already paid, let's go through the process and do it. And so we began the process. The first step is to amend tax returns that you had filed in the past. And I'll just say right now, if I don't get a chance again, this is not a pathway I would recommend, especially since, you'll see how they hammered me for no good reason. But anyway, the first step is to prepare amended tax returns that amend or put something down different than what was on the original tax return. And you're supposed to put down what you believe to be the truth, which I, as the preparer of the tax returns, did. So there were 3 years that we amended because we still had an opportunity to amend those particular 3 most recent years. And of course, Al Thompson's position was that he did not owe the income tax at all. And so therefore he wanted all of the money back that he had paid in during those previous 3 years. So I prepared tax returns on his behalf as a CPA. I signed those tax returns as a preparer. He signed the tax returns as the filer of the tax returns. And we submitted them. And again, my naivete was, well, I'm following the rules. We will go through the process of requesting a refund of Al Thompson's income taxes. And if the IRS says yes, well, then he's going to get all his money back. If the IRS says no, then we will appeal and we will just go through the process. Well, what happened was, this would happen in about 2001 or so, same time when I was on 60 Minutes. And so the IRS and the Department of Justice decided to turn those lawful, follow the rules, amended tax returns and request for a refund into a fraudulent refund claim. And so when I was indicted in November 2004, 3 of the 4 felony counts that I was indicted on were that I prepared, as a CPA, 3 false federal income tax returns for Al Thompson. And then the 4th felony was that I conspired with Al Thompson to defraud the United States of America. So those 4 felony counts I was probably looking at somewhere at least 5 to 7 years in federal prison. And so November 2004 is when I was indicted. And now Al Thompson, he decided, and, I don't want to sound like I'm casting aspersions. We did things very differently. Al did not want to hire an attorney because he believed that hiring an attorney would give the court jurisdiction over him. And because Al would not hire an attorney, and I did hire a couple attorneys, Robert Bernhoft and Jeffrey Dickstein, we couldn't do a joint defense where we both stick together. We're both being, accused of these crimes. Let's stick together and defend them. And because Al Thompson refused to get an attorney to represent him, we couldn't have a joint defense. The other thing was that Al wanted to exercise his speedy trial rights, which, you probably talked about on your show before, but I believe it's 70 days or so that the government is required to bring you to trial if you indeed want to exercise those speedy trial rights. I didn't want a speedy trial. I wanted as much time to prepare as possible. So Al and I were indicted in November 2004. And Al's trial was in January of 2005, like approximately 60 days or so after the indictment. And Al represented himself. He had standby counsel, as they call it. And again, you've probably described that on your show before. But he had assistance of a lawyer, but Al represented himself. And it was Jeff Dickstein, my attorney, and myself. We watched the trial, and it was, again, nothing against Al, but it was a train wreck. And, the other thing I didn't mention is that on the day we were indicted, Al Thompson and myself were both arrested. And Al Thompson fled. He was arrested up in Redding, California, and I in San Jose, California. And Al fled the arresting agents. He, rushed out in his car and drove out on the freeway, and the California Highway Patrol had to stop him, like a felony car stop kind of a thing. And, the car stop made the 5 o'clock news. And whereas myself, I just, gave up peacefully. And I was out on bail within 3 or 4 hours. So poor Al, when he and I both sought bail and to get out to prepare for trial, the judge wouldn't let Al out of jail. And the reason was because he proved that he was a flight risk. He fled from the very arrest that day. So he was kept in jail all the way up to and including his trial. So, trial preparation is hard enough, but if you're in jail with a pencil and a piece of paper, if you're lucky, and having to try to meet with your attorneys, and it's just a nightmare. So that really showed in Al's trial, just impossible to prepare, impossible to call witnesses, etc. So Al was convicted of all the charges. My trial is
except one charge. He was one charge. He was acquitted. Remember, Joe? Conspiracy charge.
Well, that's true. Actually, Al was acquitted of the conspiracy charge with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Incredible. Which, of course, neither of us were guilty of anything. But again, I made sure I had time to prepare. He did not have that opportunity. But you are correct. We were both acquitted of the conspiracy charge, and that was the worst of the charges. So anyway, my trial happened in June of 2005. So basically 7 months after I was indicted was my trial. And it was in Sacramento, California, because you were there. You watched every bit of it. You took notes. We're talking about 2005, right? So the internet was up and running, but it wasn't like it is today with social media and everything. So thanks to Paymon, there was a court reporter right there in the court giving the play-by-play of what was happening. That play-by-play is probably still on the internet somewhere, don't you think?
I'll have to look for it. Good point. Yes, probably.
So anyway, the trial occurred, I think it was a little over a week long. Of course, I guess every defendant thinks they're innocent, but I was clearly innocent. I shouldn't have even been charged in the first place. It was all legitimate seeking of a refund, as is a person's right. And the jury, there was a videotape, of a presentation that I had done at Al Thompson's business up in Redding, California. His business made very well-made flight bags, American-made flight bags that pilots or travelers could use, and it was a thriving business. But he, I'm trying to think how to not get caught up in too much detail. Anyway, the jury was mostly government workers, and of course it's Sacramento, the capital of California, and your jury pool is going to be made up of a lot of government workers. So that was something that concerned us. Bob Bernhoff, one half of my defense attorney team, the prosecution tried to kick him off of my defense team, claiming that it was for my best interest to get rid of Bob Bernhoft. So wasn't that nice of the government to try to get rid of half of my defense team? That didn't work, thankfully. That was even before the trial started. Over the weekend, the government filed a motion to try to get Bob Bernhoft kicked off my defense team. But that thankfully was not successful. So anyway, the conspiracy charge, interestingly enough, because my attorneys were confident that I had never engaged in any conspiracy to break any law, my attorneys point blank asked the witnesses, "Did you encounter, gather any evidence of a Mr. Banister engaging in conspiratorial conduct?" And they said no. And the jury's kind of scratching their heads like, well, if you're charging this guy with conspiracy, shouldn't you be testifying to a bunch of conspiracy evidence? And none could come up with any. And then as far as these 3 tax returns that the government claimed were fraudulent, again, my defense attorneys could see that the information that I put on the tax returns was completely logical, valid. It was word for word recasting of what was, the actual wording of the regulations and the statutes and the court cases. And so everything was completely legitimate, accurate, correct, and certainly true, not fraudulent. So the expert witness was like a 30-year IRS agent, was their prosecution expert witness. And he was asked, page by page of the tax returns, paragraph by paragraph, section by section, is there anything false in this section too? Anything false in section 6? Anything false on page 3? No, 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 no. So then the jury's like, well, okay, you tell us that these returns are false, fraudulent, but you can't point out a single, character, word, sentence, paragraph, section that's false or fraudulent. So, the average person is going to say, well, wait a second, they indicted you on 4 felony counts, but in the trial, they can't point to any evidence of fraud, any evidence of, false statements, any evidence of conspiracy. But that's how it went. So the jury, when it finally came to jury deliberations, I know what I was going to say, it was about this videotape. So contrary to what the typical advice is, that you shouldn't talk to government agents, Al Thompson, who, to his credit, had nothing to hide or he wanted to be completely open with the investigating special agents. And so Al actually gave them a copy of a speech that I gave to Al Thompson's workers at his business. And so the government, the IRS and the DOJ were so desperate to try to find something that I did that was, wrong or that would paint me as a bad guy to the jury, that the government actually used that videotape as Exhibit A, like smoking gun. Look, here's Banister in the act, talking to the employees and telling them why he believes the income tax, is a scam, that it's, fraudulently enforced. And the jury didn't see that way at all. They saw me being very sincere and explaining to Al Thompson's workforce that, I found that the income tax laws were enforced, outside of the parameters of what the laws actually said in the books, and that I showed, the workers a bunch of illustrations. I mean, we're talking about, slideshow kind of a thing, like 90s technology, but nevertheless showed them evidence of why I believed what I believed. And yet the government was so desperate in the trial to show this videotape as their smoking gun that, look, here's Banister caught in the act, explaining this, why he breaks the law, etc. The jury didn't see it that way. The jury even wanted to see the videotape a second time. So the jurors weren't allowed to watch the videotape in the jury deliberation room. Everyone was brought back into the courtroom and sat through this very long, I think it's like an hour and a half or more, videotape, once again in the courtroom. So then the jury went back to the deliberation room, and there was one juror who I don't know if I think I heard maybe you're going to show a videotape.
Yes.
Uh,
The two
one
of
of
them.
the jurors,
Right.
he worked for the Department of Energy, and he told me after the trial, he said, Joe, you referenced certain federal regulations in those amended tax returns that you prepared. And I thought that was interesting because in my job at the Department of Energy, if we had an issue to resolve, we would go to the federal regulations to see what the law actually required. And so when I, Mr. Juror, saw that you, Joe, did that on the tax returns, I thought, well, if he quoted those regulations accurately, then that shows that he was sincere. He wasn't breaking any laws. So that juror asked for the judge to see a copy of the regulations that I quoted in the tax returns, and the judge refused to let him see the regulation. So that made the juror even more suspicious. So long and short of it is, when the deliberations, I think, were several days.
So one very important thing, you never testified, remember?
Right. The night before, of course, it's pretty typical that when you're put on trial, you testify on behalf of yourself, because there's really no other way to communicate your sincerity and that you're not breaking any laws, and that you truly did your homework, and you find that the IRS is lying to the public, and so you adjust your conduct accordingly. And so, but Jeff Dickstein and Bob Bernhoff the night before, and I'm like thinking I'm not going to get any sleep at all because I have to prepare, because I'm going to go on the witness stand the next day. And we go out for dinner, and the attorneys are having drinks, and they're just having a great old time. And I'm thinking, why are you guys so happy and carefree? I'm going to be on the witness stand being, cooked, barbecued tomorrow. And that's when they broke the news to me, that they said, well, we don't think you should testify, because now we've seen the government's entire case, and they don't have a case. It's a ridiculous, we shouldn't be here, but we're here. But the government had no case. So we're not going to
indicted a ham sandwich. Is that right, Joe? Basically, the government did the famous thing. They indicted a ham sandwich, which by definition cannot commit a crime. And they got it to trial jury. And so the indictment by itself means nothing. It's an accusation. It's a jury conviction that matters. Please go on, Joe. Huh?
Very true. Very true. And I think you remind me, I think I should get some shirts to sell that say, I am a ham sandwich, or Joe is a ham sandwich, because I did get indicted for no good reason. I even found out later, just as an aside, that the special agent who investigated me, who I used to work with when I was, working at the IRS, he actually recommended that I not be prosecuted, because he spent 3 years looking at my conduct and couldn't find any evidence of wrongdoing. But the DOJ, saw it in the IRS as an agency, decided to indict me anyway. So nothing but, dirty tricks. So anyway, the jurors told me, by the way, I'll just go right to the end of the story. I was acquitted of all 4 charges, as I deserved to be. And the jurors told me afterwards that never did a single juror have to be, brought over to the not guilty side. There were some that were undecided, but only because they were kind of confused about, what went on, and maybe not paying attention as well as some of the other jurors. And so, in other words, the government's case was so poor that there weren't even not one of 12 that, said, oh, this guy's guilty. So a few of them just had to be explained a little in more detail, the evidence, and shown the evidence. And, at the end of the day, I was acquitted by that jury. And in fact, the other juror that's on the video was I think he was the president of De Anza College. It's a community college in Cupertino, like where San Jose, South Bay Area is. And he was actually a card-carrying member of the ACLU. So, government worker, ACLU guy, you'd think like, oh, he'd convict Joe in a heartbeat. But he was actually very, very instrumental in paying close attention, to what the government was up to. And he could basically see that I was being railroaded, or at least the government was trying to railroad me. And so he was one of the 12 that gladly acquitted me of the ridiculous charges.
In fact, let's put those on the screen if we can do that, guys. Okay, can we do that right now? The documentation. Okay. If you can do that, let me know. Yeah, because we have documentation of all this. If we can't bring it up, we'll of course have it added on there. So can we do that? The indictment, the acquittal, all the forms are there. By the way, everybody, you can see it all, these documentation at Joe Banister's website. Joe, you want to give him your website while we get the documents up?
Yeah, Agent for Truth, FOR, agentfortruth.com. And if you scroll down on the landing page, it'll say, what did Joe find? And you'll see, the interview with the jurors and the indictment, the acquittal, the basic pieces of the biography.
Okay. All right, if you can't do it, we can skip that if you can't do it. Can you do it? Let's see. I think we can put it on the screen right now. No. Okay. So, how long will it take to do that? Okay, let's do it quickly because we don't have much time. Okay, we get on the screen now. You see, the first thing you see coming up, everybody, is the actual. Let me put it on the thing. Here we go. This is the website of Joe Banister Image Gallery, and the copy indictment is there. Or you can see also more detail if you want to. This is the actual. Okay, here we go. This one. Okay, here we go. This is the indictment on the left side of this page on agentfortruth.com. And here, everybody, is the actual indictment. You see, let's go a closer look. It says, here we are, in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of California. It's filed in November 21, 2024, looks like. And United States of America plaintiff versus Joseph Banister. Violations, multiple charges, defendant. Here's the indictment in more detail. And then here is the, let's see, here we go. Here's the acquittal form. To zoom in on this acquittal form, see again, and you see the United States District Court, Eastern District of California, verdict form. And in this case, you see, we, the jury, find the defendant, Joseph Banister, as follows. As to count one of the indictment, a violation of Title 18 U.S.C. Section 371, not guilty. Below that, we got to go to the next page. It's on the next page, and a violation of Title 26 U.S.C. Section 72062, not guilty. Okay, that's willfully aiding, assisting, counseling, procuring, and filing an amended income tax return which was false with regard to material matter. Okay, same thing that they get for each tax return, not guilty. Okay, they charge this thing. Folks, realize that any tax preparer, okay, any tax assistant, if you're an accountant, okay, if you're a CPA, let me tell you, folks, you could be charged with this crime so easily because you make a mistake on a tax return that you prepared for somebody, okay, and they could show that you made a difference in taxes. They could charge you with the same stuff, okay? Willfully aiding, assisting, counseling, procuring the filing of an amended income tax return which was false with regard to material matter. Well, they say it's all material matter because the tax amount is different. So these forms that you and your accountant file under oath, it could get you and your accountant both in trouble because now they say, in addition, it's a conspiracy by the two of you, you and your CPA, your accountant, your tax attorney, to rip off the U.S. government. It's a very easy charge to come up with, but they used it against Joe, and it simply did not work because Joe did nothing wrong. So here it is, all these charges. Okay. Now we're going to play Joe. The jurors, these are the two jurors, everybody you see, outside the courtroom. Several friends of mine and myself were there talking to them, of these two jurors. We're going to play that right now. Some clips. This is available, the whole thing on YouTube. It's not that long, but we took even the best parts, the clips, to play it for you. So should I play it? You're going to play it. I played it. Okay, here we go. Let's see what they say in these most interesting, relevant parts.
What was relevant on the conspiracy charge was that it was obvious to us that Mr. Banister had spent a lot of time investigating this subject, and that he firmly believed in the subject matter that was what we had to consider in the trial. We shouldn't condemn a man for what he believes in. And we didn't find anything dishonest or deceitful in any of the other charges that were brought before us in this trial.
I think
he was innocent.
John, that mic looks like it's on. Yeah, I turned it off. I think I'd be redundant to go ahead and just repeat what Bruce has just said, but the whole focus with me was whether indeed you believed in what you were doing. And from the very, very beginning, as I listened to the judge's instructions and instructed the idea of whether there was a belief, and I said to myself, well, if a person really believes in something, should he or she be thrown into jail? And I just don't agree with that kind of thing, and I don't think we do that in our country. And with that kind of thing, I think the whole focus was your credibility, your belief in what you're doing. Had you not believed in what you were doing, it would have been different.
Okay. All right, and then we go to part two of this interview of the jurors. Here was the second part.
Well, frankly, there was no evidence really. I looked at the case and I asked myself, what the hell's going on here? There's no case.
There's no case. Yep, there's no case to begin with. And here's part three.
We didn't see any reason to penalize Mr. Banister for speaking freely about any subject he wants to speak about, period.
I second that. I certainly hope I don't ever lose my right to speak.
Yeah, with people like you doing what you did, you won't.
Right. Absolutely. That's why you guys are. It means so much to us because people know the right thing to do, and they don't do it. And you guys did. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of us have a lot to lose.
We're not heroes. We just didn't see the evidence. Evidence just was not there to bring a conviction. The state did not have evidence. Didn't have a case.
We went to great effort to follow the judge's instructions explicitly and read them over and over and over again to make sure we were doing the right thing.
Yep. That's what it is for the back on. So as you see, the government, when they indicted the ham sandwich Joseph Banister, is shot back in their face. And New York Times had a very short clip about it. Oh, tax protesters celebrate, or something like that, because they could not nail Joe. We're going to put that document in the video when we edit it, because I think we have that, Joe. Anyhow, so, all right, Joe, so then what happened after the acquittal? Anything more you want to add to it about your acquittal, and then leading up to 2010 events that you're going to tell us about? Anything you wanted to talk about this trial? Anything interesting, perhaps?
Well, as I mentioned, you were there, witnessing and then passing on to the public what was going on. So you were seeing the railroad, in person, seeing what the government is willing to do to, indict somebody. Oh, excuse me. Indict somebody and put me through that. When the jury's like, "Where's the case?" I mean, that's what investigations are for, right? If you investigate and you find there's no crime, you move on to something else. Mm-hmm. So it was just so apparent to the jury, and so it would have been, obviously you witnessed it too. You saw every moment of the trial. Mm-hmm. But one thing that, many things I won't forget. But I mean, you and all the people that were there in that video is very. Brings back some emotion of what that day was like. But I remember going back to the hotel and having a $30,000 hotel bill. And, I'm the defendant, so I'm the one that has to arrange for everything. And then I'm the one that has to pay the bill. And you, without telling me ahead of time, you paid that bill for me. And, just you being there was fantastic. But then you put icing on the cake when I'm like, how am I going to pay this $30,000 hotel bill? Because we were there for maybe a week in advance, and their attorneys and copy fees and meals and we probably had to get 6 or 8 hotel rooms for all the documents, and the money adds up fast. And I mean, we're talking about $2,005 was $30,000, but you paid the bill, and I'm telling you that really helped, because if my wife had seen that bill and I was like, we have to start figuring out a way to pay it, man, I think I would have been in the doghouse for sure. So anyway, but so the 2010 story.
Well, before I add that, let me tell you something interesting, guys, about this case. Usually, the jury came back pretty quickly, within like 2 hours approximately. The jurors were back. And normally when the jurors come back quickly, it's because it is so obvious that the defendant is guilty. No one needs to really see much more proof. It was also obvious. They come back and say guilty, guilty, guilty. And in this case, it took them a very short time. And we thought, interesting. We felt, I knew it was going to be not guilty, because I knew Joe done nothing wrong. In fact, the night Joe was indicted, I remember it was midnight. I heard about it. I said to myself, this is going to shoot back in the IRS's face, because I know Joe had done nothing wrong. There's no way they can get him. These guys are being overly aggressive, and it's going to hurt the IRS back. And it did. But here's the interesting thing. When the judge came and called the jury in to read their verdict, the prosecutor was not there. His assistant was there, but he wasn't there. Why would the prosecutor not be there to hear potentially the guilty victory that he's trying to get, that he worked for, that he might get? And unfortunately, if you think about it logically, the only logical way he could have known that, because there's a jury secrecy. No one's supposed to talk to jurors. No one. It's against the law. The jurors are left alone. No one's talked to them. With the sheriff or marshal outside the door, making sure nobody goes in. If they have questions, they write a note to the judge, which the judge goes over with both parties. There's no in and out with the jury. So obviously that jury privacy was broken somehow. And that's how crooked they are. They break the rules, because who's going to tell them, well, you broke the rules? They're the prosecutors themselves who's going to prosecute the prosecutors. So anyhow, that's what happened. Doesn't matter. Joe won without testifying. And yes, New York Times, and then they were very disappointed that, Joe was not, put in jail and shut up. But Joe, tell us what happened in 2010.
So about 5 years after I was acquitted, I start hearing from, various people in my circle of, my network, that people are getting grand jury subpoenas. And so I did a FOIA, a Freedom of Information Act request, to find out what was going on. And by the time the response came back, I found out that from July of 2010, can't remember now, was it then until early 2011, that there was a second criminal investigation targeting me during that time period. The latter half of 2010 and early 2011. And again, I think you have some of the documents, but there's quite a few redactions in the documents, but I don't know if you want to actually pull it up and
we're going to bring it up, Joe, so you can talk about those documents. Okay, here we go. All right, I got it right here, I think. Here it is. This is the document Joe's referring to. I'm going to zoom in for Joe to read for you guys. Joe, can you see this?
Yeah, it should be that top one where it says FOIA response excerpt.
Let's see. This says Criminal Investigation Division. Okay. And report run date 11/08/2012.
Okay, I'm seeing your file directories. I'm not seeing a document.
Oh, you don't see that? Okay, well, I'll go over it for the audience, Joe. It says begin month year July 2010, end month year October 2012. Investigation, Banister, Joseph R. So that's the document, starts with that. And then on the right-hand side of it, you can see we highlighted the total hours invested on checking out Joe. On the left is a month and year. On the left, you see 2010 months and 2011 months. And all of these hours on the right, which highlighted, they add up to over 1,100 hours, folks. That means in basically about 28 weeks, about half of a year, over half a year, full-time, somebody is investigating Joe, trying to find some dirt on Joe Banister to put him somehow, hopefully, in prison. That's what they were hoping. But, as you can see here in this other document, an allegation, it says approve or reject decision information, and decision was made in September 27, 2011. SAE approved, discontinued SCI. Here's what this lingo means. Okay, SAC is special agent in charge, the special agent of the criminal division in charge, and he approved and discontinued. SCI is subject criminal investigation. Approved, discontinuing, going after the subject of the criminal investigation, which is Joe Banister. So that's what this document shows. And they were after him. Look at this. All these tax periods, 2 years right here. Under investigation, U.S. individual income tax return. The year is whited out. You cannot see it. Here's under 3 more years on there that they have looking at him. So
a total of 5.
Total of 5 altogether. So let's bring Joe back on, guys, okay? So, yeah, this shows that they, after about, under 2 years of trying to get Joe, they figured, nah, we have nothing and we don't want to lose again, so they left him alone. Go ahead, Joe. Anything you want to add to that?
I, give a little bit of a pucker factor when you're like, oh, am I got to go through this all over again? But, I can only have conjecture and theories as to why. I mean, as you pointed out, hundreds and hundreds of hours. I mean, they really put a lot of hours in it. And the acronym SCI, Subject Criminal Investigation, the nuance about that term is that if there's an SCI opened on someone, then that is a formal, rubber meets the road criminal investigation that they intend to take to indictment, trial, conviction, sentence. I mean, they don't, when they open an SCI, they're going to take that all the way. So another kind of investigation is called a, now I'm I lost the term, a primary. A primary investigation is where you're just spending time at something, but you're not making any public contacts, and you still need to put your time somewhere because they there is an accountability for the agents in terms of what they do with their time that they get paid for. But a primary investigation is where you're not seeking someone's indictment, but you're kind of out there beating the bushes and looking for leads and looking for crimes, but not against one particular person. But an SCI, a subject criminal investigation, means that they formally, got permission to do a grand jury investigation, and once again take me to trial, try to get a conviction, and try to put me in prison. So it was the full-blown criminal investigation all over again, and then after about 7 months. And all those hours, they terminated it. So quite unusual in my experience.
And then, welcome. Joe, you and I did the Slave Nation documentary just under 2 years ago, which many of our audience members have not seen, but we'll put a link to Slave Nation. You see Joe and myself, our story. It goes over more detail. We, provide that for you to see. Joe, anything you want to add for audience members about your story that you care to share?
Not really. Just really, really grateful for all the, it's been 20 years since that trial, and 26 years since I left the IRS. So I'm kind of, both of us had darker hair then, didn't we, Paymon?
Yes.
But anyway, I'm just grateful for all those years. There were people, not only yourself that helped out with my expenses, but people from all over the country and even some different parts of the world sent, $5, $10, $25 to help me defend myself and, successfully. And so I've got just boundless gratitude for all the Americans that, paid attention, kept an eye on how they were beating me up and stood in my corner. And I'm never be able to thank everyone, but I'm trying to thank you now that I'm very grateful for it. My family's grateful for it. And it's really nice to have other brave, caring, Americans, patriotic Americans who just want to keep their country free, just want the Constitution to be obeyed, and just want their government to obey the law as we citizens are expected to.
I want to add, by the way, Joe, to everybody that we had annual freedom rallies, Freedom Law School, from 1999 forward. And when Joe was indicted, I was able to do fundraising for him at these events. So this wasn't my money, although I did contribute some money myself as well. But our supporters, people that believed in our cause, like you, they contributed to Joe's legal defense because they knew his defense and his win is everybody else's win. And so the one more interesting thing about that, Joe, is that we're doing the same thing right now. We're getting together, everybody, to restore freedom in America. And that's what it's all about. If we join hands together to restore freedom, it can and it does work. We cannot be individuals by ourselves getting lost out there. Let's contribute and work together because one for all for one really does work. This is America's founding fathers did. Myself and other leaders in the freedom movement, we wanted to be part of Joe's defense. We want to be part of his victory because his victory would have been a victory for all of us. So this is exciting at this time that we're doing this. And let me ask you something else, Joe. How many years has it been since you last filed and paid income taxes?
1998 was the last tax return.
Over 25 years. And now it doesn't come after Joe for the criminal so-called charge of willful failure to file a tax return or tax evasion because Joe has done his homework. Joe has a record to tell a jury why he stopped filing income tax, how the corrupts and criminals are not him, but those IRS and DOJ lawyers who deliberately want to silence our free speech to keep the robbery of the American people going. And that's why the petitions we have on our website are so important for you to do at freedomlawschool.org. Those petitions are a record of you asking sincere questions with a law quoted attached for you to send to your congressman. If I'm wrong about this, show me. I will pay my fair share of taxes. But if I'm right, you ought to talk to your other Congress members and put a stop to the deep state renegades to rob and enslave the American people. So it's free at freedomlawschool.org. You all ought to do it. It's your right. I believe it's your duty as an American to do your part to have America be free. So with that, Joe, I want to thank you, my friend, for me once again. I'll have Joe back from time to time. I'll have him back, of course, coming up next year, because many people still haven't heard about Joe Banister over the last 15 years or so. We're going to bring him, let people know there are good people in the government, like Joe, who want to come out, want the truth also. He's not the only one, and we celebrate them and thank him, Joe. Thank you, Joe, for your courageous, consistent perseverance and stand for truth and freedom in spite of all the criminal and relentless attacks these criminals in deep state have done on you and your family to try to shut you down. Thank you for your support, my friend. Thanks for being my friend and helping me with all this cause that we both working together with, Joe.
Thanks, Payman. Thanks for being in my corner. Thanks to all your audience, and God bless everyone.
Thank you. Can we have Joe on the call and answer people's questions also, or just myself this time? What's that? Okay, so Joe has to go, guys. He has another call coming up shortly. So thank you, Joe, for being my friend. We'll be in touch, Joe.
Thank you. Take care.
Mm-hmm. Okay, everybody, now is your opportunity to ask questions about the IRS and your questions you have about what it takes for you to be free of the IRS. You can reach out to others, do the right thing to get our country back. I want to make a thing, by the way, about Epstein files, for example. Here we are, commentary on Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein's thing was covered up completely, maybe by Trump back in 2016 to 20. But Biden also continued the cover up. All 4 years of Biden. So, and now Trump said that he's going to release it before election and then change his mind, calls it democratic nonsense. And now he agreed to sign the bill by Congress to release the files of Epstein, the pedophile, who trafficked women for sex and young boys, so I understand. The fact of the matter is, tomorrow morning, with the executive order, Trump can simply order DOJ, Department of Justice, to release all the files about Epstein. There's no need for any law or resolution by Congress of the United States. Trump is the head of the executive branch of the government, and he can and should do the right thing. Let the truth be out there. Let the American people see and decide for themselves what this is all about. And that thing that's important to reestablish Trump's credibility, which has been damaged because he's not released these files as he could have, like he done with the John F. Kennedy assassination files. He's released those. Great. Promise kept. Kudos to Trump. But he needs to do the same thing here. Release the files on Robert F. Kennedy assassination, Martin Luther King assassination, okay? And that way he can be the greatest president we've had, okay, if he does these kind of things. So with that, let's go to your questions, everybody. The number to call if you have a question is 424-552-1299. You need to press 1 on your telephone keypad to get your question answered. 424-552-1299. Then you press 1 on your telephone keypad. We have 2 callers right now, patiently waiting to get their questions answered. The first one is from area code 818, and the second one is from area code 732. 818 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Yeah, hi, this is Rusty. And I kind of had 2 things I was concerned about. I have a very large IRS lien against me right now.
How did you hear about us, by the way, Rusty?
Pardon?
How did you hear about Freedom Law School?
Oh, I heard you on Mike Adams.
Recently or last year?
Originally, I heard you a couple of years ago, and then I heard you again earlier this year.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Please continue about your liens. How much are the liens about?
Yeah,
for what years? These tax liens, and for what years, about how much roughly?
Well, it's large. It's over $600,000 at this point.
Okay.
And they actually will hit the 10-year period the end of this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And somehow I've managed to slip through the cracks there, and they haven't, anyway, I don't know. I've been in communication with them, but nothing's really happened. Anyway, so I'm assuming those will go away. I'm wondering, is there any way they can, because the lien says on it, the actual judgment that's filed with the county says on it that it gives a date, and then it says that this is not renewed after that date, this goes away.
Correct.
So I'm assuming it's just going to go away. I don't.
Yes, unless they file a lawsuit before they do that 10-year, or they renew that lien for another 10 years. They could do that, but they may or may not do that. We'll see.
I get it. So what can we do about getting rid of it?
Nothing. Just wait.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I hate to tell you the truth, but it's the truth. Just hurry up and wait.
Right. Got it.
Have you stopped filing 1040 income tax confession forms?
I have been filing these years.
Oh, why haven't you stopped?
Well, I guess part of my concern is I do a lot of real estate, and I need tax returns to get loans. So I'm not sure how to get around that.
You can get real estate loans without a 1040 income tax confession form from hard money lenders, and we're putting more down payment down there. And right now, of course, Rusty, you know, we are in a recession. And another Great Depression like 2008 is around the corner. And this is not the time to be in real estate. You want to get out of real estate. So now having that whole issue getting loans is not an issue anyhow. If it was 2006 or 7, would you still buy real estate, or would you liquidate everything you have? Right?
Well, yeah, hindsight's 2020.
Well, I'm telling you, I predicted the 2008 Great Depression. I had economics and finance in my college. Those are my major area of study. I'll shout to everybody, don't get into real estate. It's end of the top of the market. Get out. I was 2005. I was telling people that. Okay?
Right.
So now, is there another reason for you to keep filing 1040 income tax confession form? And you confessed to all the IRS this money. You know that. You owe that $600,000 because you, under oath, thought, assumed, were told, were brainwashed, lied to, that the safe thing for you to do is to sign the 1040 income tax confession form every year, in addition to getting a loan. So I hope you can stop that for your own good, Rusty. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little more homework on all that. But yeah, I get it. Okay, now I have a second question. So they put a restriction on my passport, and so it's keeping me from being able to leave the country. I need to go and do on a business trip out of the country. Now, is there anything you've had experience with, dealing with passports like that?
Not in your case. In your case, you confessed to all the IRS money.
Okay.
You got to stop filing the 1040 forms, brother. That, you need to educate yourself, Rusty, by listening to the videos on our website, freedomlawschool.org, and see what I'm telling you is the truth. You heard me twice on Mike Adams, still having to take the time to watch our videos, still believe that I got to file a 1040 form when you don't. You got to make that time as you drive from A to B, B to C, back to A. Let those videos in your car ride, play, and see for yourself. That's a rope around your neck of $600,000. And took your passport away too, because you were deceived. Deceived into signing those 1040 forms under oath, swear that you owe the IRS money $600,000, well, penalty, interest, whatever. So that's my best advice for you, my friend. Anything else?
No, you're right. I need to get educated more, but I guess the passport thing will eventually go away when the liens go away?
Yep. When the lien goes away, you can ask IRS to renew it, hey, it's gone, and you can go tax code if necessary, to have the tax code tell the IRS you can give your passport to you.
Got it. Okay.
But call us.
Well, thank you very much.
Call Freedom Law School, Rusty.
Yes.
Talk to someone here. Let's get you to be free, brother. How old are you, Rusty?
Oh, I'm in my 60s.
I'm 63. Isn't it time for you to be a free man after all these decades of slavery?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's never too late. That's for sure.
Yep. Never too late, brother. Thank you for calling. Okay,
Right.
before we get to
Thank you.
732 area code caller, we have also another one from area code 316 waiting to get his questions answered. And another one from area code 937. Okay. 732 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there from area code 732, a caller?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. What is your name?
Lamont Daves.
Say it again, please.
Lamont Daves.
Lamont, okay. All right, Lamont.
Yes.
And how did you hear about Freedom Law School?
I watch a lot of YouTube, so I came across one of your interviews. I believe that was with Redacted.
Very good, my friend. And how may I help you?
Yes, so I live in the state of New Jersey, and I would like to know if it's possible to avoid state taxes within Jersey.
You know, I just had to review New Jersey state tax laws, and I need to reconsider what we have on our website about New Jersey. I thought it does not follow the federal. I think it may does. On the form that the state form looks like you do have to. So wait, give me a couple of weeks to look at New Jersey law closely again and call back again in December. I'll tell you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nothing else? That was your only question?
Well, okay. So, this year I paid off the IRS. It was $4,300 because I tax exempted for half the year last year. So that was taken care of. However, I owed the state $1,300, and I wasn't able to get in touch with them for the first couple of days after the deadline. No one was able to, or rather the lines were all tied up. So after a couple of days, I just stopped trying, and I haven't paid them, the $1,300. So I have no intentions on filing the 1040 next year, but I'm wondering if that state, that state tax will catch up to me eventually, even if I don't file the 1040 next year.
I don't know. There's no way I can give you a guaranteed answer.
Okay.
There's no guaranteed answer to that question, my friend. Okay?
Got it.
So for what year is this? What year is this tax? You're talking about tax return. 2023? 24?
24.
Well, it's past the October 15th deadline anyhow for extensions. So you already passed that deadline. If there is one, wait a couple more weeks. Let me look at the New Jersey law a little bit closer. We'll talk again in December, okay?
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right, my friend.
One more question, Damon.
Sure.
Yeah. I was going to do a consultation, for this very question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's necessary, or should I just wait until you gather that information in a couple of weeks?
You're not a rich guy. I charge $1,000 an hour. So go ahead and call here if you like. I have other people I've trained that for them that now supervise for $300 an hour. If I can help you for free, I'll do that. If not, you may want to talk to them later on. But you're not a rich guy, so save your money. You need it. Your family needs it. Okay?
All right. So I'll call back in a couple weeks.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Okay, we have a caller now from, area code 316 was on there and 937. But let's see, 937 caller is there right now. So let's go to him. 937 area code caller, you're live with Freedom Law School. Please give me your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please.
Robert. And my question is kind of similar to the first caller, but dealing with state taxes.
What state and how did you hear about us?
It's Ohio, and I've known my wife and I, we were in the Royal Package, and I think we first met you. I think it was a conference. It could have been Michigan. I can't remember exactly, but it's been quite a few years.
Okay. What about Ohio state taxes, income taxes?
Well, I believe Ohio is, I guess, tied to federal laws. So if you're not filing 1040s, I'm just thinking about the most effective way to deal with that. And we did the petitions and all of that.
Good.
And I know that's really straightforward.
Good.
I'm sorry.
Then you're fine.
So, and I think we got something a couple of weeks ago, but, I think it's just some computer-generated stuff. There's no signature, no nothing.
From who?
So I was
State?
debating on... say that again, Payman?
You got the letter from who? The IRS or Ohio?
Ohio.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta see the letter to comment on it. If you get your letters up to 10 pages of information, correspondence with the state or tax agency or the IRS, if you get that to Freedom Law School before the Freedom Hour, by email, call us. Make sure we get it. Make sure it's printed out, put on my table for the Freedom Hour. I'll review it for you at no charge. But you got to get those letters to me so I can discuss them with you better on the Freedom Hour. Okay?
Oh, okay. I'll get those up to you.
Sounds good. Anything else, Robert?
Okay, and that was... No, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've, I have pretty much, I've been reading all the laws and everything, going through it in my mind, and I think the last time we filed was either 97 or 98.
Very good. Very good. And you've never been to prison, right?
No.
You've been to prison for taxes. No. Okay. See, folks, here's the proof. You don't file, they'll leave you alone. Over 25 years, almost 30 years, this guy has not filed the payment. Free. So the myth, you go to prison if you don't file a bunch of that hooey they're trying to sell to you. Okay. Well, Robert, thank you for calling, my friend. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Okay, and you may consider joining a Restore Freedom plan so that you get unlimited consultation, and we can guarantee IRS will not take any of your money. You'll not go to prison, and we pay the attorneys if necessary, and give money back to you if the IRS takes anything from you. So with that, let's go to you have 3 callers.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Robert. 1 caller from area code 910, but you have 2 callers from area code 832. Okay, the 832 area code callers, one of them is from prefix 317, the other from prefix 807. Neighbors, maybe? Anyhow, we're going to go to the call from area code 910 first. Give me your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please.
Hi, my name is Gloria. I sent a letter in last week. I was on the call, but I want to get your opinion. I filed petitions back in 2019. I sent letters in, and the petitions I sent in. Okay, so I got 2 letters from North Carolina State. One from 2021 and one from 2022. Saying that, do you happen to have the letters there from last week that I emailed in?
Did you call us?
Yes, I called, but you wasn't on, so I wanted to get hear what.
No, you need to call us to make sure the letter is put in front of me. We don't automatically put them in front of me for the question and answer session because a lot of people send us documents all the time. So I don't have that in front of me right now. Do you have it, guys? Do you have the letter she's talking about? No. So make sure the next time you send it out, you follow up with a call to make sure we get it and let them know in email and on the phone it is for the Freedom Hour to make sure it's on my table, and I'll be happy to review it for you at no charge and give you my suggestions. Okay?
So he had the letters last week. He had the letters last week.
You have the letters last week, guys?
He had them.
So you guys had the letter last week, she claims. Okay, do you have it? I don't see it here.
I spoke with George.
Who was he?
George.
Who did you talk to said the letter was here? Because if that letter is not here. If they said they had, they would have left it on my table because I was not here last week, but they would not take it.
Right.
But Benny went through to understand for you. I was told Benny answered your questions for you.
Yeah, but I wanted to hear your take on it.
Did you let them know that to keep the papers from my take on it? Did you do that? Gloria, you need to send it again because you didn't tell us that we gotta keep it for another week for you to call again. If you told us that, we'd have kept it. But the paper's in some trash can someplace, probably outgone by trash already out of this place. If you're gonna call back again after your question was answered by Benny, you need to let us know, sweetheart. Okay, send it to us again.
Okay, so
I'll let it call us again. Make sure we have it. Let it know about the Freedom Hour, and I'll go over it again for you myself, no problem. Have you found it? Is it there?
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, Gloria, yes. Is that her? Oh, well, lucky we have it still. Yeah. Okay, we found it. Good job, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
You got notice to file a return from North Carolina Department of Revenue, which is a more aggressive state, North Carolina, when it comes to income taxes. Okay. For your 2022, okay, they claim you got paid about $32,000 from one hospital's job and a little bit from other sources. And this is letter dated, what's the date of this letter? November 6, 2025, okay? Now, and then if you don't respond to this letter, they will likely, as they claim, send you a official proposal notice of individual income tax assessments. Okay? So you can file if you want. Get rid of the state. It's small anyhow. Or not wait for that letter. So that's really all you can do. North Carolina is definitely more aggressive than many other states. Okay? But I got something else for you, Gloria. You say you're 68 years old and you do not think you can afford to join our movement at this time. That is not correct. You can join our movement by calling us. We'll mail you our Restore Freedom brochures or Fast Track Your Success brochures. Both of them in 12 pages show you, anybody who reads, that no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay federal income or payroll taxes. Okay? Get it from us. Go in front of your local supermarket and pass it on to them. Go by businesses in the area, okay? Small shops, mom and pops, okay? And give it to them, okay? Spread the good news. And when they join our Restore Freedom Plan, we will put cash in your pocket, lady. Tell people, hey, you can be free. No more Irish slavery. Don't pay income tax. Legally safety. Guaranteed. Restore freedom.
I passed some of your flyers out before.
Yeah, well, not flyers. These are not flyers. These are 12-page, beautiful, 4-color brochures on glossy paper. Okay? So keep doing it and keep coming up. And do that because there's no reason for you to be poor, my dear. There's no reason why you should not have the nicer things in life. You were meant to be free and comfortable. So go out there in the sunshine. Have a good time. Start passing them out. Especially when the tax season starts in mid-January. Okay? When people get those W-2 and 1099 forms in the mail from the IRS, from the employer, they're wondering, gee, am I going to pay income tax or not? What should I do? So I suggest you do that and don't worry about this letter for right now. You can wait until the next letter. If they said want you, then we can discuss it further at that time. If they don't follow up, they'll leave you alone, you'll be happy and it's done. Correct?
Okay, so you said don't worry about these letters right now?
This letter. I didn't say these. This letter, it doesn't matter. Gloria, let me ask you something else.
2 letters.
Gloria, do you have a high school degree?
Sure.
Okay, read the letter. Slow down, read the letter. It tells you the last paragraph, they might send you a notice of individual income tax assessment. that says we will compute your tax liability based on all income sources received by the department. Okay? So they may do that as a claim. They may not. This letter by itself, it is not in any way problem for you. The problem may come down the road.
It says failure to respond by December the 6th. They will send a letter.
Well, let's send you a proposal. And that's a proposal. You can challenge their proposal. This is America, Gloria. This is not some third world dictatorship country. You can just take your stuff. They give you a proposal. You have a right to challenge them in a hearing with the agency, the department, and then even take it to court, usually. So they cannot just come take your stuff. No, you'll be fine. Because you haven't confessed to owning money at all in the first place. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Gloria. Okay, we have, let's see, caller from area code 832, two of them. The one from prefix 317. You are first. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Okay, this is Paymon. Am I on the show?
Yes.
Okay, well, basically I was just listening to you on the phone. This is Earl Shelton, one of your affiliates. And I do have a question. It involves a little bit of a story. Maybe you can answer this so people would know and be educated on what happened and why they responded in the way they did.
Earl, get closest to your microphone. Tell me how you heard about Freedom Law School. Okay? And then your question.
Hold on. All right, hang on.
Because I can barely hear you.
Okay, I'm trying to get off the microphone.
Okay.
I'm just trying to. Speaker. Okay, now I'm on the phone.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Come here. All right, so basically, my name is Earl Shelton. I'm one of your affiliates. I got signed up with you on September the 30th. I've got a question for you in this story that I'm going to say right here, right now. And basically, the story goes, I was in Mexico City for 1 year, and on June the 10th of 2004, I was scheduled to leave Mexico City Airport to arrive at Bush International Airport, Houston. Are you there, Paymon?
Yeah, but how does that relate to all taxes, all this Mexico stuff?
What?
How is this all related to taxes?
When I so when I arrived at Bush International Airport, apparently I had 12 or 15 U.S. Customs agents on me. And the special agent that was standing right next to me asked me this. She says, Earl, how do you make your income? And I said really loudly, because there was about a dozen U.S. Customs agents on me, and there was 3 of them standing by a door about 60 feet away, so I wanted to make sure that they heard exactly what I said. I said, I don't play this income bullshit. And all of a sudden that door opened, and a guy that was 6'9", came walking 60 feet towards me out of a door. He was watching me apparently through a 2-way mirror. And the reason why I couldn't leave Mexico City on the 10th is they told me in Mexico City that I can't get on board today, but if I come back tomorrow, I'll be able to get on board. And I thought that was kind of odd. And of course, when I arrived at Bush International Airport, I seen what it was all about, because I noticed some of the customs agents from Honolulu. Anyway, going back to that 6'9" guy that's now walking in between me and the special agent standing right next to me, who asked me, Earl, how do you make your income? And I said, I don't play this income bullshit. Well, this guy that was 6'9", I guess he was a special officer of the bank or something like that. And he started pointing his finger towards her and said, I get paid $130,000 a year to make these decisions. You are now to pull the pin. And you should have seen this lady's special agent's face crumble like a cookie. I wish I had a video of it and the whole event. and she just realized that she has just been stopped and they could not proceed with me. And my question to you, what was it that I said that shut them down? I figure that whatever that Treasury agent realized that I'm not a U.S. person,
Earl,
and that I'm a non-resident.
Earl, hold on.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened there besides the little bit you told me and why this things happened the way it did. I'm not a mind reader. I was not there 20 years ago, number one. Number two, Errol, this is not the time to call share stories. This is not share story hour, my friend. This is you as a Restore Freedom Plan member, you get unlimited consultation to any and all questions you got, my friend, okay? And unlimited help and unlimited, everything's done for you to keep the IRS off of your back and even the states, okay? You don't even need to call here. This calls for people who are not members, are not paying members. They want to get help for free, which I'm happy to help them once a week here.
Okay.
So I need you to let them get their questions answered because they're not members like you who have unlimited consultation for your questions. Okay?
Okay. Hey, thank you, Payman. I just wanted to, I just wanted to show that the word that I said shut them all down.
Good. Congratulations.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Just an educational question.
No problem, Earl. It's all good, my friend. Thank you. I'm glad you had victory over these people. That's good. That's good to hear. Love to hear victories, guys. Okay, we have one more caller from 832-807 area code. But before I take the caller, I want to make sure to give you guys the call number one more time. If you have a question, call 424-552-1299 and then press 1 on your telephone keypad to ask your question. Again, the number is 424-552-1299 and then you press 1 on your telephone keypad. So 832-807 caller, you're live with Freedom Law School. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Oh, hey there, Payman. My name is Dan, and I just found out about you through YouTube, very obscurely, I guess, through some YouTube comments, and came across your channel. And I watch a lot of YouTube, I guess, and I've gone down a rabbit hole recently.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question is, sorry.
Go ahead. How can I help you? Go ahead.
Yeah. So my question is, I work for myself as a mechanic, kind of my own business in Texas, and I kind of went down the whole Facebook thing and trying to do things proper. Ended up filing for an LLC, and I have an EIN number, but I'm a sole proprietor, no S corp or anything like that. So I'm wondering, the question is, should I dissolve that before I stop filing the 1040, or is it not going to affect me because it is a sole proprietorship?
It's fine the way it is. You can do it with or without the LLC. You already have it, might as well use it.
Okay, so I don't need to dissolve it or anything. I can just go ahead and stop filing, and I should be okay?
Yep, you got it.
All right. So what's going to happen to, say, I have very few, but what's going to happen to the businesses that do 1099 me, and I say I have to correct them and say that, no, this wasn't federal income?
What do you mean what's going to happen to them? Is you expect something to happen to them?
Like, is it... I guess I'm new to this. I'm curious because they're always like, oh, well, we paid you over $600. We have to, we're going to go ahead and we got to get your W-9 and you got to fill out this form. And I don't know. I've got some money that I owe them right now because I did file the form, last year and the year before. But, of course, once that's over, if I just stop filing, I figure I'd be okay.
Well, if you already work for them, they paid you, why would you give them any more information? They already paid you. You got the money. You have to give them nothing afterwards. I'm done. Hey, I'm done. I did some work for you. That's it. We're done.
Right. Yeah, so would I have to dispute that? Say they 1099 me, would I have to go ahead and say file a corrected 1099, or just don't even file? And
No, you don't
leave it at
need
that.
to do that. You could, but it's a very expensive process. Potentially, they will not listen to you. I suggest you give them our Restore Freedom brochure. Tell them our website. Okay, educate them that they don't have to 1099 anybody. They don't have to file tax returns at all. Okay, so you just got to educate them. The brochure does the job for you.
Right.
Restore Freedom brochure. You can request it for free on our website, freedomlawschool.org, or call us at 813-444-4800. Either way, we'll get them out to you. Educate them as a mechanic. That's what you got to do. They don't need to do any of this stuff at all.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm pretty much just stop confessing, stop filing the form, and I should be good to go. I mean, yeah, like I said, I get very few that 1099 me anyways. So I'm just working for the people, for the other private people in my area. So I guess. Yep. You got it. Awesome, man. This is cool. I'm glad I've gone down. I'm definitely going to get some of your information and start passing it around for sure.
And you, as a mechanic, you have a steady supply of prospects. You leave our brochures in your waiting area of your mechanic shop. Fast track your success. Restore Freedom. Whichever one you want or both. Put them on your table. Customers wait in your lobby, see it, and then you can also hand it to them free of charge. Let them see it. Hey, you got a great way of getting paid big rewards, for referral rewards for referring people to us. Because we want to thank you for opening your business for people to come see the truth and be free, no longer be slaves of the IRS. Okay?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That sounds like that's exactly what I'm going to do. And, man, I'm really glad I found you.
You're welcome. Glad you called us. Thank you for being incisive. And you'll look at the comments and someone mentioned about Freedom Law School. Now, that's dedication to research. So go to our website. Yes, sir. The 7 steps to free yourself of IRS deception, which leads to fear. With that fear, they control and rob you. With education, the fear goes away, and so does robbery and slavery. So continue on your path, man. Congratulations. As you work on cars, you can listen to my videos, explain things to you. Then when you have your lunch, dinner, or driving home, when you're at lunch or dinner, watch it. This time, you heard it, you watch it, and double confirm that everything you heard is true for yourself. And you'll be on your way to freedom and prosperity. At the same time, share with everybody else. Say, hey, check this out. I just came across this. Unbelievable. I want to get your opinion. See what you think. You're a smart guy. Tell your customers that. I would appreciate your feedback. Is this right or wrong? Man, this is incredible. We got to look into this thing, I want to see why this guy, for over 30 years, haven't filed and paid income taxes, and is free. He says we don't have to. Man, that sounds great. I'll check it out. You let me know what you think. I'll really would appreciate your feedback about this. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, my friend. Any other questions, Dan?
No, I think that's it. I'm definitely going to continue to research, and like I said, I'm going to keep looking into it. I'm new to it, but it's all very interesting, and it's exactly what I needed right now. So this is awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Dan. All right. We have 865 area code caller. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Paymon. This is Joseph. I heard about you a number of years ago. I started my journey through Irvin Schiff's book many years ago, and where I kind of, before even this adventure, you could say, I knew there was something wrong about the 1040 confession form. So anyway, that's how I learned about you.
And it was actually the late, great Irvin Schiff who I got the phrase 1040 income tax confession form from. I thought Irvin Schiff was just right on the money in that language. It is. They sucker you
Amen.
to confess to the IRS money, like the caller who had been deceived to keep telling the IRS, I owe you $600,000 year after year, and still doing it. You know, like, just stop. Stop confessing to the IRS you owe the money. Stop putting a rope around your neck, signing those 1040 forms. So congratulations to you, my friend. So what's on your mind right now, Joseph?
So I have a general question, kind of in line with the previous caller, and I've been meaning to ask you this for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm an entrepreneur many years now. I haven't filed for over 10 years after I've learned all, even before I've come up to your program years ago. So my question is, I have an LLC, and I'm in the state of Tennessee, but my LLC was formed in a different state that doesn't have franchise tax and doesn't disclose the personal information about my LLC. So my question is, operating in Tennessee, how do I'm a consultant primarily, so I don't know, technically I need to file in Tennessee as an operator, but then when I do that, then I'm disclosing all of my personal information, you know what I mean? I'm trying to see how to do that without just having, for litigious reasons and others, disclosing information about my LLC and members or whatever.
I'm not sure what you mean, Joseph, when you say you have to file as an operator in Tennessee when Tennessee has no state income tax to begin with. What filing are you speaking about? Please be specific.
The LLC filing.
So what? File.
So
the LLC? It doesn't matter. How is that going to make any difference whatsoever?
Okay. Well, my LLC is based out of Wyoming, okay?
Even better.
So to operate in Tennessee, allegedly, I also have to file and register in Tennessee my LLC. Is that not true?
Look, I don't know the state laws about filing for out-of-state entities. You probably do have to register with the state of Tennessee that you have an out-of-state LLC from Wyoming operating in Tennessee. Fine, do it. Comply with the law. It's no big deal. It doesn't relate anyway whatsoever with the federal income tax. Remember, America is not one country, people. America's 50 countries, 50 states in the Union. California, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, we're all countries in the Union. Just like in Europe, there's a European Union with France, Germany, Italy are countries or states within the European Union. Now they would say France and Germany are not countries, they are. So here's Tennessee and Texas. It's a country. So this federal government is the agent of the states in Washington, D.C. Their job was 18 specific powers delegated by the states to the federal government to perform, like common foreign relations, common defense, common immigration rules, common money, and so forth. They're not subsidiaries of the federal government. That's a bunch of baloney they imply in the public fool system. States are above the federal government within their own lands. So don't worry about the IRS. It does not relate with anything you file with the state of Tennessee. Okay?
Very good. Hey, man, I appreciate everything you do, and you're a blessing to all of us.
Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Okay?
Good night.
And again, listen, how old are you, Joseph?
51.
And what kind of consulting do you do?
Oh, I can't go into specifics, but it's in a niche market. It's a very niche market.
Is it education? Is it health? And you have vague category will do. Is it business consulting? What do you mean consultant?
Business consulting.
Okay, listen. Tell your customers about the Freedom Law School. We send you our brochures. You consult them to keep their money, to be free. Send for our fast track, your success brochure, and Restore Freedom to give it to them. Put it in your business. Give it to them. Right now, people, right now, recession, stagflation is hurting Americans badly. Their prices go up. Wages are not keeping up with inflation. And unemployment is already starting to increase also slowly. It's going to get worse. People are hurting. Most Americans are in debt. 3 out of 5 Americans, they live off credit cards to pay their bills at 25-30% interest rate. You think when they pass these brochures, they're not going to be interested in how they can get out of debt? Of course they're going to be interested. They'll be afraid, too many of them, but give them a chance. And we'll pay you good, hard cash money. And for you, Joseph, as a consultant, as someone who's intelligent enough, educated enough for people to want to pay you cash for your advice and wisdom, why would you not give them this wisdom about income tax fraud on top of that for free? You get paid afterwards, after you do a good job of educating them and give them a chance to be free. And you were shiffy. You know about this stuff, brother. Don't be afraid.
Yep.
You just add another section to your consulting. You can put on there, we also help eliminate income taxes legally and safely. You can add that on your website with 100% guarantee.
100%.
Oh, that's interesting additional service you got. I want to hear more about that one. Joseph? Right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
All right, brother.
I'm with you.
That's it.
I'll
let you go.
for the brochures, yep.
Yeah, call our office, 813-444-4800, or at our website, freedomlawschool.org. We'll get them out to you, as many as you like, brother, to get them out at no charge to you.
Thank you, Payman.
You're welcome, my friend. Okay, I think we're done unless there's a last-minute call. You better call quick because I want to go home. Okay, the number, if you have a question, call now, 424-552-1299 and press 1. Again, if you have a question, call now, 424-552-1299. You press 1 on your telephone keypad. You'll be connected to me, and I'll be answering your question right away. So it looks like we have someone from area code 971 joining. Is that correct, guys? That was our old caller from 971. Let me see. That's a new caller. Okay. 971 area code caller, you are live. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Avery,
Yes, sir. Payman, I want to get started.
Well, how did you hear about us first?
I've known about you for a long time. I've seen a lot of your YouTube videos, and I've been on your website, and I haven't paid taxes in like 10 plus years, man.
Okay.
Income tax.
All right.
Know.
Good for you.
Quit filing the protective form, Praise the Lord on that one. So I want to get my boss situated on not paying taxes, like employee taxes, stuff like that. So what would you recommend? Just go to your website, have them fill out all the information. What would you say?
Well, I don't have a simple answer for you. It depends on your boss's mentality and how big of a company you got. Yeah. Do you work for the big mega corporation with 100,000 employees? And mini small business with 5 employees, 20 employees? When you can know the boss, you can talk to him. Give me a little bit more detail.
Yeah, there's only 4 of us. We do sales over the phone. We sell like real estate advertising in magazines to local business owners in cities around Oregon.
Okay. Well, then give them our brochure. Tell them, look, you can stop filing income tax, stop taking money out of my paycheck. We'll all be richer. The real estate recession is here. You know it. It's a recession compared to back 3-4 years ago. Let's not go broke like in 07, 08, the Great Depression happened. Let's save our money right now. You don't have to pay income tax. You don't have to steal from my paycheck or yourself, give them our brochure. Tell them there's $50,000 reward, cash reward, if anybody can show any legal wrong thing about what Freedom Law School says. $50,000. I want to collect.
I love it.
You help me collect.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, you just go sit down with them. Have lunch with them. Sit down. Let's sit down and talk. Let's go over the brochure. Or let's go, hey, you know what? Wait. Let's have lunch. Watch this 10-minute video with me. I'll save you, and we'll go. Okay? And we'll show them very first video. That's what you do. You talk, folks. You got to talk to people. You can't just expect on their own to find out. You educate them. And that's the easiest situation you got. Small company, the guy works hard for a living, not some big mega billion slave plantation. Okay, let's be free. You don't be slave, and neither am I. And this guy's done it for over 30 years and been teaching Americans legally, safely, over 30 years. He's not in prison, been under investigation for over 30 years. Paymon has not filed and paid income tax. How come he's not in prison?
Yep.
Because there's no law requiring you or me or Paymon to file and pay federal income or FICA taxes at all to begin with.
Exactly. Now, one quick question. How do I get your brochure, Paymon?
They're free. They're free.
Yeah.
Call us. And our website, request it or call us. Okay. We send the brochures to you for free. Go on our website on 7 steps. Step 1 is there. If you have any problems, call us using our website. Call us 813-444-4800. We'll guide you. Okay, no charge.
And do I just sign up, or just sign up and stuff, or what?
You can sign up also for our Restore Freedom Plan to protect you 100%. Yes, with 100% guarantee. That's also available if you like. I encourage that. So we can protect you and expand our work to restore freedom and free all the slaves in America. Because we're not meant to be slaves here in this free country.
Amen. You know it. And I'm excited. Thank you so much, Paymon. I really appreciate your help. And you're a huge blessing to so many people. We're going to incorporate this into our meet and greet events at the local real estate offices. So we have all the business owners come down that we sell advertising to. And we're going to turn them on to you as well to help them save money.
Listen, you're going to make a lot more with me than real estate right now. Because real estate is in a recession, you know it. Okay, and you know all the small business owners, real estate, mortgage agents, real estate title officers, real estate, other real estate agents, industry, the plumbers, construction guys, builders, all these guys. They're all hurting. They're all hard-working slaves thinking, it's so bad. Well, don't pay income tax. Oh, no, I'll go to jail if I do. No, you won't. BS. Paymon's been over for 30 years not paying income tax, openly teaching others. He's not in prison because there's no law requiring you to. You've been brainwashed and lied to and deceived, just like the Corona hoax you were lied about Trump-Russia conspiracy that the media sold the American people. Remember all that? January 6th hoax, the media sold you. They want you as a slave. Same people. Just go in there, have a good time, give them our brochures, text it to us, sit down with them for 10 minutes if you can. Watch this 10-minute video, step 1, on our website, Follow the Law. All right, and you're going to do good, brother. You are in a great place as an independent contractor and business person in the real estate field. Everybody's hurting, universally. They're looking for some manna from heaven to show up. And you tell them the truth about income tax fraud is the manna that will save their business, saves their families from stress of lower income.
You know it.
And that's coming. Okay?
Thank you so much, man. Hey, just real quick, I'm on your website right now. I want to get those brochures. Now you got your tabs at the top of the website there. You got like home, get help.
Click on the 7 steps, the gold arrow, gold box. Start 7 steps. Click on that gold box. Start at 7 steps, and then you scroll down. When it comes up, you scroll down. Follow the law. Right below that, you see there those golden rectangles. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is. All there for you.
Thank you so much. God bless you, brother.
You're welcome, my friend. Thank you, Avery, for calling. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I mean, I was in real estate myself, real estate home loans, mortgages, back in 1983 when fixed rate, 30-year fixed rate home loans were about 14%.
Yeah.
I was a 20-year-old guy, 20-year-old guy in college, university, finance major, trying to sell, home loans in that great recession that we had in the early 80s, not knowing we're in a bad recession. For 6 months, I tried to sell. I didn't make even one sale, but I learned a lot. Okay? I know how much people in real estate hurt every time the economy goes up and down. Recession like right now, stagflation. So I know you heard him, brother. There's no need for that. Go forth and go with conviction and passion for truth and to be effective. People say, thank you very much. Thank you, Avery, for turning me on to this stuff. I didn't know anything about this stuff until you took the time to open my eyes.
Yep. You know it, brother.
Right,
I'm so excited. The best time in history to be alive right now, Peyton. My God. We got this.
Thank you.
Hey, have a good night, brother. Thanks for chatting with you, man. You're the best. You have a good night, brother.
Thank you, brother. Same with you. Have a good evening. Okay, one more call chance. If you have a call, let's put the number on the screen. If you have a question, one more chance. Those last minute guys, if you have your question, call it now. Otherwise, I'm going to go home. The number to call with a question is 424-552-1299, and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. Call 424-552-1299, and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. You're going to go next after Avery, okay? So other than that, I'm telling you, this is a slow time of year for us. I take, time off, relax, enjoy, because next year is going to be a big, busy year for us. People are tired of what's going on with our government, okay? Trump has been great in many ways, not some other ways, unfortunately. But because all these politicians, even Trump, the people behind the scenes, they've influenced and controlled them. Okay, that's the problem. At the end, you vote with your pocketbook. Don't give them your hard-earned money. Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and you could easily, on the right, free yourself from income tax withholding. Okay? It's there. Click on it. All the instructions and forms are there, plus video, how to do it correctly, legally. Follow it, and you will be free, brothers and sisters. With that, I give you all my love, and I encourage you, as you drive to and from work or errands, put our videos up on your smartphone in your car, okay? Connect it with your sound system of your car. Watch the road while you listen. And then when you go to lunch at work, home for dinner, then do it again. This time, watch it because you heard it once already. Now you watch it and really get it that you are not a slave. You don't have to file and pay income taxes, payroll taxes, self-employment taxes, corporate taxes, estate taxes for federal government. And text your friends. Email them. Social media post our videos or our websites. Hey, you don't have to be a slave. Don't pay income tax. Now you're going to get maybe 9 out of 10 people say, I'm not interested. You're going to go to jail. Oh, I don't want to be a martyr. Well, all kind of nonsense fear. Well, I can't help people who want to live in fear. People want to be chicken, let them be chicken. I can only help the lions and want to be lions. If a mind God gave you to think for yourself, why don't we use it? Oh, because I'm afraid to even read and think for myself. Give them the chance to be free. Tell everybody about Freedom Law School. There are people out there like you and me looking for someone to turn them on to the truth that's empowering. Seek the truth. The truth shall set you free. Do your homework at freedomlawschool.org. And I'll be back with you next Tuesday night.